Okay guys, what's going on? So today in this video we're going to do something a tad bit different, and I'm going to show you guys one of my personal favorite baits to catch big bluegill. And you can basically catch just about anything on this. Anything that eats little minnows, you can catch them on this. This is the DLC Docks Lure Company 1.5 inch swim bait. It's a very small, very tiny swim bait, one of the most minnow looking swim baits around that I've ever been able to find. It is very small profile, and man does it catch the bluegill and the bass. My mom caught her first bass of the year on this bait. It was on a bait this size, same bait, just in green pumpkin silver flake. You may hear that large noise back behind me. I guess that since it's getting close to deer season, people have to come around and start disrupting the woods, because, you know, that's always great, right? But yeah, a couple days ago somebody decided they were going to run down through both the place across the road and where I hunt and just decide to tear up a bunch of trees for no reason. Like, they literally have no reason to do it. They just, I guess they want to. And now they're back over there doing the same thing. Again, for no reason. Again. So yeah, they waited until it was a couple days before deer season to start doing it. Which is not too weird, to be honest with you, because they done it last year as well. But anyway, enough of me ranting about idiots. We're going to go ahead and talk about... oh, that was a... never mind. Okay. I thought it was a hit, but it wasn't. It ran into that stick sticking out of the ground there. But anyway, my mom caught her first bass of the year on one of these little tiny 1.5 swim baits, but hers was in green pumpkin and silver flake. She caught that. Actually, right over there is where she caught it. That was pretty cool. We were out here just trying to catch some bluegill, and she ended up hooking up into the bass. And then the other day she caught her second bass of the year, which was a decent little, maybe half pound, maybe 3/4 of a pound, that she caught on the Docks Lure Company 2-inch swim bait in this color here. The crystal shad. Basically what it is it's clear plastic, but it's got silver flake, a very little bit of silver flake. And this thing is an awesome bluegill bait. If the bluegill are eating little minnows, they will crush it. Something that I've done before, I actually caught 13 big hybrid bluegill on this bait in one day. If you guys follow my Facebook, you'll see that pictures. I didn't have my camera with me, but I just put on a sleigh fest on them daggum bluegill, and I caught 13 of them and lost a lot more than that. And basically what I was doing was I was just taking this little swim bait and I would cast it out, let it sink down to the bottom. And if I didn't get a bite almost instantly, I would start reeling it really slowly along the bottom. Just kind of slow rolling it along the bottom, and they would come up and grab it. I guess it would become down because they were hitting it on the bottom, but whatever. Y'all know what I mean. But something I do, since this is not much of an expensive bait, you can lose some, it's not really going to hurt you that much, is what I do is I'll throw it around brush piles a lot. I'll throw it over the tops of them. I'll cast this little bait out there. We actually got these jig heads gave to us because they aren't no good. They're actually bad jig heads, but they still work. So I'll run these down through the brush pile, and sometimes I'll catch fish. I watched about a 2.5 pound bass come up and grab one of these baits. I think it was 2 days ago. And I ended up losing daggum fish, which was not very fun. I lost him, but it's a lot of fun. Something like this, you don't really want to use super heavy line, you know. I go 8 to 10, that's about as heavy as I'll go. Something else is you're not going to get a whole lot of casting distance, but a lot of the bluegill and crappie fishermen, they don't cast super far anyway, so there we go. This is a bass, I think. Yeah, it is. It is a bass. Looky there. Oh, he came off. There he is. Come here. There he is, you guys. Hang on 1 second. There he is, you guys. Decent little fish. Go ahead and toss him back in there. That was pretty cool. Went ahead and took a picture of him to post on Facebook. That was awesome. Was not expecting it to be a bass. When he hit, it just kind of felt like he hit like a stick would almost. He didn't really hit it and try to swim off or nothing, just kind of hit it and was just there. But there we go. Decent little bass on the Docks Lure Company 1.5 swim bait. What I did was I just kind of cast it out. Not right there, but I was over here by this grass, and I just let it sink all the way to the bottom, just like I was telling you I did a while back with them big bluegill. And started slow rolling it back to me, and he grabbed it. I honestly had thought that I had hit a stick or something. I didn't really think it was a fish. And then I set the hook on it, and it was actually a fish. Awesome. I think that's the first fish catch I've had on camera for a while. It's been a little while since I've caught a fish on camera, so that's awesome. Over the grass. There's this little bit of pond grass. I don't know really the actual name of it, but I call it pond grass because most of the ponds that I go to have that type of grass in it, so I just call it pond grass. We got this little patch of it right here, and it's an awesome place to flip. And one of my favorite ways to fish this little grass right here is take a Texas rig and just flip a little finesse hog, Docks Lure Company finesse hog. I'll flip it right in there, about right there. Just kind of drop it down, and when I lift up, sometimes there's a fish on it. I'll drop this in there, see if there's any big old bluegill wanting a little minnow to munch on. Nope, I don't see any. Usually when I'm flipping for bluegill like this, I'll see them come up, and then I can drop back down and kind of more technologically fish it, I guess you could say. Oh man, look at that tiny little minnow right there. There is some teeny tiny. I'm talking probably not even measurable. Little tiny minnows right there. I bet that's what these bluegill are eating on. Those things there were probably about the size of the tail on this swim bait. Man, that was those tiny little minnows. I bet those are tiny baby bluegill. The bluegill did spawn in here not a whole lot long ago. I figured some bluegill, or some of the baby bluegill, have gotten bigger. Then they kind of are shaped like bluegill. They're real tall, but they're not real long. So I'd say they're probably just some super young, tiny baby bluegill that must have just happened here recently. I know there's some places like down in Texas and what's that other state? Arkansas. That's the state I'm trying to think of. I know down in Texas and Arkansas, the bluegill are still spawning down there. But up here, they normally just spawn around June and July. They don't really spawn a whole lot after that. Every once in a while they do, though. But this here's one of my favorite ways to fish for bluegill. You can catch bass on it, just like I said a second ago. I showed you there, I caught that bass. You can definitely catch bass on these little tiny baits like this. It works awesome when they're eating small bait fish. There's a pond that I know where they're eating small bait fish almost all the time. They don't normally eat a whole lot of big giant bait fish. But there is some big giant fish in there. It's where I've caught a couple 4-pounders on camera. And they've been eating a lot of smaller bait fish. So I've been throwing a lot of these, making them when we get ready to go fishing. I'll make a bunch of them to throw. They work. I love these little crystal shad colored baits. If you guys are wondering, These baits here come in a 25 pack. You can get 25 of these little swim baits for $4. Mainly, the reason it's $4 and not like super dirt cheap is the shipping. That's the reason why. I'm thinking here soon what I might be doing is, instead of just making these swim baits only, because a lot of people they can't really find the jig heads. I've noticed, you know, if we go to Walmart or something, the jig heads are quite hard to find. So I'm thinking about doing a deal here soon where you can buy packs of these and I'll send some small jig heads with them. I may or may not do that. If you guys want to do that, if there's any of you guys that would buy those, like 25 packs of these with maybe like 4 or 5 jig heads in it, let me know. Because that might be something that I'll do in the future. That bass catch was awesome. I haven't caught a bass in a couple of days, so that was pretty good. Sun is right there in my eyes. I hope it's not blurring out the camera or anything. I can hardly see. I will also be doing a new bait video here soon. Not right now because I don't have any of them currently made. I'm getting them. They're kind of a prototype bait right now. They're not done in the process. But I will have them soon. And they are awesome. I cannot wait to see what these baits do. I think they're going to be awesome. I think they're going to catch a lot of bass, especially in this fall time that's coming up. Listen to that crap over there. I mean, really? I hate stupid people. Yesterday I was over here. There was a really big rain yesterday and the day before yesterday. And I came over here, and back in that corner, right over there where I just casted, there was where some water was running back into the pond, and it was real muddy, and there was 2 bass that was patrolling that area. One was probably about 2.5 pounds, and one was a little bit smaller, probably 1.5 pounds, maybe 10 inches, somewhere in that area. They weren't giants, but they were decent fish, and I could see them. They were patrolling that area. I walked around on that back side to see what they were doing. They had some bluegill pushed back up into that muddied up water. And then bluegill couldn't see where them bass were. So then bluegill were just kind of sitting up there in like 6 inches of water, just like scared out of their minds, I'm guessing, trying to figure out where the bass went. And pretty soon a bass would run up there and try to hit one of them. It was really neat to see. I sat there and watched it for quite a while, and then the bass noticed me, and they just kind of like, yep, I'm gone, and they just left. But it was really cool to see. But yeah, I love throwing these little swim baits because you never know what you can catch. My dad, back when I first came out with the 2-inch swim bait, me, my dad, and my uncle, or no, it was just me and my dad, that's right. Me and my dad went out fishing with these little 2-inch swim baits, and he was sitting over there fishing, and pretty soon he called me up and he said, hey, I've been catching the crap out of them, where you at? And I said, oh, I'm back over on the other side of the pond. I was on my side of the pond where I normally fish. Usually catch pretty quality fish over on that side. But he was in the smaller of the 2 ponds, and he was slaying the crap out of bluegill, bass, and crappie. He ended up catching over 20 fish, and some of them were bluegill, some of them were bass, and some of them were crappie. And it was crazy because that pond, at the time, we didn't know that they had crappie in that pond. We just thought it was bluegill and bass and carp. That's all we thought was in there. And that day, he was throwing down little swim baits. We found out that there was some small black crappie in there. So that was pretty cool. So I think I'm going to end this video here pretty soon. I got 1 fish catch in the video. I think that's going to be probably all I get. Was really surprised I even got that one, to be honest. kind of figured it would be a bluegill if I caught anything. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you did like this video, share it on any of your social medias. There's a bluegill or something just busted back here. But share it on any of your social medias. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. I will be doing a huge giveaway once I reach 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for watching once again. Bye.